yes, that's a pedophile. That's why you're here.
Oh, Ice-T. It's great, that picture. When he was speaking at my campus, he promised to cut me after the show, and I had his check. So
Perfect.
Anyone, welcome to Everyone Racers, a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of Lemma Champ or Lucky Track Dog League you run, SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate, as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussion, tips, tricks, news and notes in the world of amateur endurance racing, and whether it's on the spot hella sweet or we're lucky enough and Chrissy gives us just the tip, we're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mental.
And we are Everyone Racers. Thanks for coming back and listening to another I Love You Sal Griffin Alley episode of our podcast. It is episode 143, which is, of course, text shorthand for I love you, because it's one word, one letter, four letter, three, whatever. Listen, if you're not driving a car right now,
those are hard.
Yeah, if you're not driving a car right now, check out the E1R bingo card.
Good reminder. Thanks.
In the show notes. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button.
Shouldn't you be able to point to
on
it right
YouTube
now?
the other
You'd be
day.
like,
Yeah,
that's what they do on most videos.
Yeah, sure.
Point right
I
there.
couldn't believe that we have 71 subscribers or whatever it was the other day. I said,
know.
Wait, really? Like, really? How many of these are North Korean bots? I don't know, but I didn't look.
Can I talk about the YouTube for a moment?
Yeah, please.
Sure.
Talk about the tubes.
I need to officially apologize to last week's guest because the YouTube got recorded in like a weird way, and it was, instead of grid view, which is what you're all seeing now if you happen to be on YouTube, it was speaker view. And there were so many hilarious things happening while we were talking in the little box that held Spank, and you only see about 25% of them. So apologies to Spank, apologies to the YouTube world. Go back and see that episode, but just know the reason we're laughing, you missed all the damn good jokes.
Yeah.
Let's go to
something.
Yeah, it was something. Chris, what you working on?
Sanding. More sanding. And then I did some sanding. Some sanding.
For lunch, you had sand.
And there's some sanding. Really, we've been just continuing the boat. It's been the fairing process now, which fairing is the fancy boat word for putting Bondo on something. And we have fancy Bondo that is a 2-part epoxy and that is good for boats. Anyway, we're actually pretty much done with that now. Amazingly, I can't believe I'm saying it, but it's been weeks of doing this, but it's there. We're basically ready to paint. If we had the paint yet, I ordered it. It's not here. Like, we just need to do the prep wash on it and start priming. And then it's prime, sand, paint, sand, paint, sand, paint, sand, buff, etc. So, yeah, that's good.
What's your goal? July 4th? Get the boat back in the water for July 4th?
Yes.
Is that
We want to go up to the Cape for a extra long weekend then and bring the boat with us.
Awesome.
Yeah. That'll be great. And everything else
It's
is either
soon,
ordered
though.
or here. It's great. Yeah, I know, but we're getting close. So now I can do some other stuff, like I would change the water pump impeller in the outboard and get the fuel system. I got new hoses and pickup for the fuel system, get that together, do a couple touch-ups on the teak that's here. The fake teak decking that I've got, Flexi Teak, is coming, probably be here Friday or Monday, so I can actually create a template on the floor for that and start preparing that, just everything but gluing that down. So that'll be good. So there's lots of things I can do while we're waiting for the paint, but also we have to wait for just the right day to be doing the paint too. So, and it requires 2 people. Also did an oil change in Snowflack. First one it's had since it left. Since it left to Georgia.
Yeah. Yep. So
It's
did you
called
send it out to Blackstone?
Do you know why
or
it's
you
called
just...
Snowflake?
No, why is it called Snowflake?
Because that's what they put on the license plate.
Oh,
Snowflake doesn't
it's not
fit.
flake.
It's snowflake.
It's flack. I got it.
So we call it snowflake.
So did you send it out to Blackstone, or are you just going old school analog on this one?
I didn't send it out. I just changed it. The GM oil life analysis things are actually pretty darn accurate, apparently. So
yeah.
Anyway, they hadn't driven all that much, so it was due though. It's done.
Nobody
There we go.
has.
Inspection.
The 5 is done plenty.
Yeah, that's next due for an oil change. Fit that in my schedule. Yeah. Anyway, Menzel, what have you been working on?
So I've actually, and I'm going to share my screen, which is going to screw up your grid view, Jeff. So be sure to go back to grid view.
We will.
Uh-oh.
Well,
All
we're
right.
recording directly to the computer today, so it shouldn't be a problem.
All right. Really? You disabled screen sharing, Jeff?
Oh my gosh. Give me a second.
Only for you. I can screen
know,
share.
right?
Well, did he
All participants can now screen share.
Okay, here
Did you
we
warn him that we were
go.
going to do this? That's what I was saying.
All right. So the garage, if you guys remember way back, and I talked about my modular furniture garage.
Sure.
Yes.
So this is starting to come together. So there it is. I haven't got all the tools quite put away yet, but I've got the pegboard and then the whiteboard to track the projects and the benches and all that kind of stuff. So there it is. And I've got some others. Let me get my mouse to
It's
the
the
right.
pile of crap on the right.
Oh, that's the truck bed full of all the stuff that is going to eventually live on those work shelves.
Oh, okay. Got it.
All right.
I see several disassembled motorcycles.
You see no disassembled motorcycles. You just see a Honda without a seat. And then that's actually what the Yamaha just looks like all the time.
Oh, okay.
All right. Is it going to let me? Did it just change pictures? Is it still in the same picture?
Same
one.
picture.
All right. I got to figure all that nonsense out. The heck with it. All right. stop
Computers are hard.
So, but that's what I've actually been. Sunday night I was up till 2 because I had to get it to a point where I could put everything back in the garage so I could go to bed and do all that kind of stuff. And so, but it is now, I'm now in the, okay, let's start laying this out logically phase. Home tools go here, car tools go here, yard tools go over there. So that's what I've been working on. Had a buddy from the Inglorious Bastards drive up from Sedona to pick up a car part today. So Blake, Taco Blake as we call him, was listening to our last week's show on the way up. Could not understand why I was laughing so hard at the end of the episode. You got to watch the YouTubes. And I'm not racing champ this weekend.
Oh, wait. Oh,
I had it. I put it
the
in
mouthpiece fell off.
It even says
Okay.
trombone on their nose.
So I'm not racing this weekend.
I mean, that's sad, but not for,
I
the
gotta
reason,
lick my lips. Hold on.
not for the reason you wanted it to
It's
be
the
sad.
saddest sad trombone. That was pretty good.
That's never not funny. Especially
We do
When-
that
when
just
Eric-
for the YouTube, by the way.
well, like at the race when Eric does it, he actually has some idea of what he's doing when he plays it. So when they give out like the I got screwed award, there's Eric in the background going.
Yeah, okay. and thing is, he can not only do sad trombone, he can do triumphant trombone, and then just occasionally the Imperial Death March. All of which works for every Lemons Award.
No,
Yep. Close enough.
it's just sad trombone faster.
Yeah, absolutely. and requires less skill because if you do sad trombone poorly, it fits. Yeah.
Oh, was that it?
That's it, Chrissy.
Mr. Ward.
Chrissy, what you working on?
I don't even know. It says beach on here, and I was like, did I go to the beach this weekend? I completely forgot. We did
All
go
the
to beach.
sand and sanding all just kind of mixed together.
Right. What's in my mouth right now? Oh,
Look
I meant which
at the monkey, everyone.
Be-
Do not do the penis joke.
the beach sand or boat sanding sand is in my mouth and my eyes because so I've been just as much as Chris has been out there. I have been with him sanding every second of the day, that were not working. And then with not doing that, I am super hella crazy busy with work. I think that thing says if Jeff's busy about work, I am busy with work. So we are suddenly ready to open a bunch of our major offices. And when they all have lots of rules around them, right? Obviously, every place has a city, county, and state rule that is different. And so when a business is going to open, people have to figure that out. So it has become my problem. And of course, many of our offices are opening next week, Monday. So do they have the correct signage?
I'm supporting the cause. Look what I did this weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You've
3 AmeriGas cylinders in, 3 AmeriGas cylinders out.
You took that picture at Home Depot just for me.
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
I was going to text it to you, but then I forgot.
I appreciate it. So that happens to be my problem. Do they have signage? Do they have things on the floor? Do they have thermometers? No. It's become my problem. So I am
Plexiglass dividers.
Yes, we don't. Yes, we need those too. But for the most part, we're having enough staff that we're able to kind of put people across rooms from each other and that kind of thing. But it still means that everybody needs to figure out if they have temperatures coming in the door. Blah blah blah. It's become my problem, and it's kind of firestorm. So everybody was like, "Yeah, we have the answer. We just need to tell the people that are going to be there and put it all together." And they're all like, "Oh yeah, give it to Chrissy. Cool. Okay." So if you are watching YouTube, I'm going to be packing thermometers while we're on the show. So yeah, work has been really busy, and I feel like I've been going like flat out, and I don't like it.
Because that's how you drive.
I
You should
drive
go to
flat
Faster Run
out.
Group.
Faster Run Group, please.
That's
I
clearly
only
the
drive
problem.
flat out.
Is work needs to move you to the Faster Run Group. Duh.
Yes, that would be great, or give me less work or something. But I have a job. Jeff, tell us about what you're doing.
So I mentioned last week that we were trying to teach my son how to ride a bike. We have progressed in the bike riding. So to the point where I have also begun repairing the adult bike so we could all bike together. And of all the things that you would expect COVID to run out, toilet paper, meat, did you know that bike parts also run out?
Yes, we've heard this.
That's a thing. Yes, we've heard this.
There's a reason I just did the tires and tune up on Chrissy's dad's bike is because the next place near that they usually use is like, yeah, we'll get to it like late July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I needed a new chain, and I had to order it from, directly from China. It eventually did get here. It took about a week and a half instead of the usual 3 days. And I took apart some bikes that I liberated from the neighbor's trash dump and put them into my bike so that I wouldn't have to order other parts. I needed to change a rear derailleur and a few other things. So all the bikes work now, and Josh is getting closer to being a regular bike riding kid. Very exciting.
Excellent. That's great.
I also spent close to 24 straight hours cleaning the garage.
Do you not have pictures
hella
too?
cleaning.
Where are your pictures?
I don't really have a picture, come to think of it. Let me see if I took a picture. I did not take a picture of the garage. That's so terrible. But the 4.8 LS is now on the stand. There's room to walk in and out of the garage. You don't have to climb over things.
Standing upright?
Standing upright, and you don't have to move anything. It's actually wide enough.
No tunnels.
It's actually wide enough for activities. I can actually
activities
work on the LS at night. I even bought tooltip time. And this is not a Harbor Freight tool. If you go to Harbor Freight and you buy the LED shop lights, they're $20. But if you go to Sam's Club and buy the LED shop lights for $20, they are bridgeable. So they have an outlet on them, and you can bridge them together. I bought 4 of them.
Excellent.
I already had lights in my garage. It's like effing X-ray in there right now. You click that one light, it's boom, light, baby. It's
okay, on a scale of iPhone to Chris and Chrissy's basement.
Right? Have you seen the basement?
It's close to Chris and Chrissy's basement.
All right. Mm-hmm.
I also took some time and rubbed some leather prep on the 914 seat that I picked out of my friend's garage, and I mounted it on some wood, so now it lives in my living room, and I play video games on it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's fun. The real reason I cleaned the garage, not only to work on the LS, but we have some workmen coming to the house tomorrow to add some HVAC to our downstairs. We're getting one of them split systems that Hobbs and a few other people were talking about on our team.
Cool.
Yeah, because again, the best tool I have to work on the heating and air conditioning is my checkbook.
Some things.
It's true.
Two things that must work at all times to keep my wife happy: her primary vehicle and the air conditioning.
So the split system, is that for the downstairs? I'm
So
assuming.
the downstairs, yeah, we're putting a Mitsubishi through the wall heat pump split.
Is that
system.
for the office or for the main room downstairs?
Main room?
Okay.
Yeah, our heating and air conditioning thingy, I'll get to you in a second, Chrissy, is in the attic, and there is not enough vents or power or BTUs. And so the house becomes two different temperatures. It becomes what is upstairs because it only has one zone, so it doesn't know how to like pump more AC to the bottom or more heat to the bottom. So the bottom floor.
And you don't have different ways to adjust the registers or the piping or stuff like that. Like in the summertime, I shut most of the registers downstairs, so all the air conditioning comes upstairs and then gradually works its way downstairs. For example.
We can do that, and that's been tolerable. But we run the insert, the LG insert, that basically heats the downstairs. So
okay.
it's kind of like and that makes a big difference. If one floor of your house is a drastically different temperature than the rest of the house, it gets hard to maintain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Chrissy, I'm sorry, you had your hand.
I wanted to go back to the comment that you said that there are two things that make your wife happy.
Yes.
Her car
Yes.
or that she demands of them to work, we'll say, right?
Yes.
Her car
Yes.
and the air conditioning.
Yes.
She's obviously never lived without water. Like you don't pay the water bill and then the water doesn't work.
Is there a story I'm missing?
It's a long time ago, but it makes you value water a lot.
We have actually been in a house.
I forgot.
We've actually been in a house without water because we've had the well pump blow.
Yes.
Or Chrissy, you should say this is when the water line from the street froze.
Yes.
Then we were also without water in the middle of winter.
Sure, but this is when you have control over the things that work in your house, and you have neglected one of those things, and water is one of them.
I've lived without water, and I've lived without natural gas, so no heat or hot water for extended periods during my college days.
Sure, you have a better story than we do. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just going to go with, I adjusted. You figured it out, but no air conditioning? No, forget that noise.
Well, you live in a desert.
Well, no, even then, like before then, you just.
And it was Georgia. Then you just drown in your own sweat in the summer.
Well, it was in Nebraska.
That's not high on my list.
It was in Nebraska, and I didn't even have electricity for almost a month one time. You just get home, get everything done before the sun goes down.
So how did you keep groceries cold?
If you don't open the fridge very often, fridge is basically a big cooler. And
for a month,
first off, I'm not paying my electric bill, so it's not like I was stocked. Not
a lot of goat cheese in the refrigerator. But you don't have money for electricity. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
This Chablis is not chilled to my specifications. Yes.
So let me amend my original statement. Two things that the lovely and talented Jennifer cares about much more than Dumpy Jeff cares about. Because I can tolerate a sketchy daily driver and
a
hot weekend without an AC.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what's going. Yeah. So we'll just say those are things that we all care about water. We all need electricity. And holy shit, if you have an 11-year-old, you need the freaking internet and the Wi-Fi 24/7.
Oh, I didn't even put that on the list of necessities.
But good old dad, if it gets hot and the AC doesn't work, swap open the freaking window. That's the way it
Pretty
works.
much.
Mm-hmm.
Turn on a fan. What do we do before air
Yeah.
conditioning? You know?
Right?
Died. We all
Suffered.
died at 30. At age 30, people just die.
News and notes time. Do I have the first one?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
Always do.
Okay, so maybe it's just this one guy, or maybe we're all gonna die. This week's edition of Things That Are Trying to Kill You. Your Harbor Freight jack stands. You were a good boy and you took them back to the shop and you got new ones. This guy had a 3-ton set. He put his Volkswagen Golf on it and it broke the weld that held the body together. No, his name was not Tom Lamino, and no, he didn't die, but he did post it up on the internet. It got picked up by a bunch of 1320 Video picked it up, and Yahoo Autos picked it up. So now it's everywhere. Your brand new replacement Harbor Freight Jacks might be just as sucky as the original Harbor Freight Jacks. Link in the show notes.
Too bad.
Ford Motor Company inexplicably has plans to reveal their all-new Ford Bronco on July 9th. Why is that newsworthy? Well, that falls on the birthday of one Orenthal James, a.k.a. O.J. Simpson.
I didn't read ahead. I was like, why is Mental doing a stupid story about the Bronco? Why do we care about the Bronco? I mean, cool car, but now it's fucking funny.
Yes, exactly. So if you don't know, you're younger and you listen to this show. It was the world's slowest police chase on June 17th, 1994, which with O.J. Simpson in a white Bronco, which immediately shot the value of all white Broncos up.
Who's this? O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson, guy that killed his,
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Chrissy was 8.
But it's fine. I know who he is, and I watched the car chase
she
anyway.
doesn't know that he was in all the Naked Gun movies, but yeah, it was just one of
What's
those
that?
things. So the link to
Now it's legit. I don't know what that
is
is.
in our show notes.
What was his name?
Nice beaver.
In the yeah, exactly. What was his name in the what was OJ's name in the Naked Gun movies? It's hilarious.
God. Yeah, I can't.
I'll keep going. I'll look it up.
IMDb's.
I am. Do it. You finish the story.
Do it.
That is the end of the story.
Done.
So Ford, somebody did it on purpose
races.
or by accident. Yeah, we haven't done this in a while.
Hi,
Upcoming
Chris.
races.
Upcoming races.
I'm working on it. It's taken me a second just to be able to say like an upcoming race. We haven't done this in so long. Like I'm building up here. So Champ Car is actually headed to Big Willow this weekend. 22 cars. Sounds like a ER field, but I guess it's a Champ in the West. That's actually about right for them. Yeah, good for them. Only 2 BMWs, which are boring. Thank you. 2 Miatas, 4 Hondas, no Porsches. But the best part is listener Corey Dickman and teammate Pantsless Matt. They are rolling out there in the mighty 76 Olds Omega, as well as the Pontiac Solstice. It just made its way out there. I don't know which one's going to be faster. That's going to be an interesting race just between those two.
I hope they get to be next to each other. And
I thought the Olds was a ripper.
But it's a 76 Omega. Like the suspension is like ox cart, and
it is. But Big Willow's got 2 really big straightaways. That's a speed course, so it should be.
So the Solstice is going to suck.
You'll have time to. Well, you know what? The best part is
taxes.
the air conditioning in the Solstice still works. So you'll have the air conditioning while you're driving in the desert in the summertime. So
true. Nice. I think the best part about that story is Corey Dickman is the real name.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yes, he's a good guy.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk some recent race results. WRL was at Daytona for a single 14-day event. Former guest and show friend Tyler
14-hour event, not 14-day.
I'm
That'd
sorry,
be
14
really
hour. It is 14 hours is still long. I'm sorry. Tyler Hoffman put the 77 Kingpin race came in pole position, but finished 21st and 9th in class. Wonder what happened to them. That's sad.
Oh, the World Racing League has kind of, I feel like they're becoming the series for people who want to race amateur, but they've got money for real hardware, like, factory Audi rides and BMW 235Rs, which is cool. If you want to race at that level, there was just some serious hardware at that race.
But so they didn't break. They just didn't do that well.
Well, I mean, ninth in class is really good considering what he was battling against. That they built that Cayman themselves.
I just wasn't sure if something happened. Okay, well, overall, Team GTR with 353 laps. Second was tons
Oh, wonder what kind of car they had.
I can get this. It was a Solstice, actually. Second was Tons of Gas Motorsport, 1 lap back. And third was Hammer Motorsports in GP1. Went to Screaming Goat Racing. I like goat races. Who was also 4th overall. GP2 was Choice Racing, who was 6th overall. And GP3 was Choice Motorsports, who finished 11th overall.
All right. I love this. Race results. Champ car was at COTA, Circuit of the Americas dual. Was it 2 races, DUAL, or was it dual?
Saturday and Sunday.
There you go. So Saturday, 11/10 racing in a Miata, covered 161 laps to take the top spot and the fastest lap with a 2:38.8. Crowd controls SVT Cobra 16 seconds back, and 901 Motorsports in their being boring BMW was third. Sunday's winner, crowd control. 160 laps, fastest of the day. Also, 2 minutes back on the same lap was an SC300 of Birmingham Racing. And the third was Valerial Steel. Oh, Valerial Steel. They didn't spell it the way I expected. Valerial Steel in a 91 Miata. That is a Game of Thrones reference.
Scrappy R.
Yes.
Happens. It's cool.
Yes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You go.
That's
no, you
it.
got it.
Listen up! Be back! So on the post, the Solstice making its way to Cali. Teammate Eric K. could not resist a bit of verbal play. Yes, friend. I don't want to read this. Why'd they put this?
Yes, friend of friends, the duo car waits to penetrate the competition to enjoy the cut and thrust of the race.
To quote Ayrton Senna, each driver has its limit. My limit is a little bit further than others.
Thanks, Eric. That was good. That made me actually laugh. Yeah. And we didn't ask what you're working on, but hey, that didn't stop Corey Dickman from posting his plans to kidnap Mental for the Champ Car race this weekend. And hey, Mental, if you get thrown in a van and don't know where you are when you get out of the van, does it count? Like,
hey, look, man, I
I didn't bring myself here. I don't even know where I am.
They told me I had to drive or I couldn't go home.
They told me this race was in Idaho. When I got out of the van, they said, you're in Idaho.
Just go.
And
yeah,
you're in Idaho. Don't worry.
There it is.
Okay.
Racer Rotor Reaction.
The world is coming out of coronation. People are starting to race again. Next week, we'll have Lemons prep work because they're headed up to Gingerman. Eric was talking about how happy he was to start seeing his racer family again. But that doesn't stop us all from iRacing. I think we've built a lovely thing with that. And if you tuned in Saturday, you got to see some of us. But the Lemons had the Why You Ruin Classic series at Le Mans this weekend. The first one was the Silly Hats. No pedals, no wheel race. So a lot of Sony controllers and flight controls. One very industrious young man had a sound interpretation for inputs and played the French horn. So he was actually holding a French horn. He had a live camera on him. Rally correspondent. Go ahead.
That means left.
Yeah.
That means right.
Well, like Sean was wondering, how's this guy going to do a straightaway? The Moose Schlong straight. How are you going to keep it all the way down there? We're waiting for him to pass out by the end of it. But that was actually a lot of fun. And then they did the all in the dark race with cars with no headlights. So they turned off all the street lights and raced all in the dark, and surprisingly didn't hurt that much. There was a couple of people that were driving by Braille, but it was a good one. But in the Silly Hats race, rally correspondent Santiago hacked the CAN bus of his new Buick and used that to control iRacing in his car, and had a camera of him actually in his car trying to drive. But since he was at his car, he kept getting disconnected because his internet was terrible. Then we did a 2-lap backwards race.
That was hilarious. I ended up watching that one.
Yeah, all the cars had to turn themselves around and then go through. And then I think we had some just a conventional race. You can catch all this on the YouTube. It's damn near 5 hours because we lost from the time the race ended. We were going through all the recaps and all the crash fest and everything. We had dropped 3 listeners. So we just kept talking until we were all tired. And so we finally cut off the broadcast at that point. Great time. They're doing it again tomorrow night. I may or may not be on this broadcast. They may invite the rest of the show. Don't know.
There is no broadcast tomorrow. I just saw that. I
got a text from Eric said they might be putting together a budget one. In either case, if there's not a broadcast, you should go and do it. It's a lot of fun. Just keep your expectations minimized.
I recently saw it on Facebook. Don't know what time it was posted, but said that the Bearded Sim is not available, and neither is Eric. So chances are
there you go.
There will be none.
There will be no broadcast.
Okay.
I saw it somewhere.
Sunday, we had the 4-hour enduro at Le Mans, the continuation of Why I Ruined Classic. And Chrissy and I managed to hop in there and go along for that ride, mostly while we were making and eating dinner and various other things. But hey, that's how we roll. And so the race was won. I don't remember which team it was. It was a Mustang. And it had a pro race driver, and he was very good. And he just pulled away from everybody. So
a
good for
pro
them.
Racer or a pro iRacer?
No, pro racer,
Yes.
actually racer.
Yeah, no,
So
he's run Indy and run some other stuff, but clearly iRacing skills as well, unlike some pros.
Some other
yeah,
pros.
he was
out
very
there.
good. Lamino was close to winning B, but got tangled up with a spinning Miata. So he once again
On the last lap.
grasped defeat from the jaws of victory. So
And
well
he
done,
is
Tom.
So
Wiener stepping. He's
he's
not bitter
so
about it at
mad.
all.
He's so
No.
mad about it.
Uncle Dave continues to show how it's done, and all around, well done, sir. It was a lot of good, close racing all around. I think people had some fun with it. Even if you weren't in the lead, there were still plenty of people racing each other, having a good time.
You know who's gotten alarmingly skilled at this is, he hasn't won anything outright, but Soggy. Soggy is always in the top half of all of these events.
He's fairly understated. Oh, because he can't talk. That's
Yeah,
why.
despite the fact that he has to feed the squirrels extra to get the internet to work that much bandwidth.
His car is constantly cloaking and uncloaking. It's like
It is.
disappears and then it bounces and then he's ahead of me. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Monday, E1R iRacing recap. This week we were at Road Atlanta. We tried to mimic Road America. Sorry, Road America. I knew that and just didn't read it. I was there actually. So we try to mimic whatever's happening on Thursday as kind of like a practice, but also sometimes we decide we're do something more fun. This time we added the 87 NASCARs, not 87 NASCARs. And so
because we love freedom.
It was so hard to drive. So I first thought I had a Thunderbird and everybody else had Monte Carlos. I thought they were different. They were not, apparently. It was so hard to get used to. Basically, it's really good on the straights. So I would just walk by a Jetta. And if you didn't brake at the
you had to do a
start
lot of braking.
If it was the start finish line, basically I was a drag race. And Jeff was like, yeah, this is how you do it. And I was like, you're so right. Like, you're not even joking. Straight line, drag strip. If you don't brake at start finish, you're never braking. You're do 2 miles. It feels like 2 miles an hour, and then turn, and then do it.
Drag
over
race,
and over again.
stop, turn.
Yes.
Drag race, stop, turn.
Yeah,
And then
they go through the fast corners better than you expect.
Yes,
absolutely. Yes.
You kind of throw it in there, and it just kind of works itself out, and you're all right. But the slow corners, I mean, the Suburban would do better.
Yeah, because you've got they're all aero, and you've got no aero at low speeds. Those cars are designed to run 200 all day and not slow down, and that's where they can learn to turn. Now, 35 miles an hour turn, no. Can't do it. No.
I know. And then the first time you do it, you're just like, I'm spinning everywhere all the time. I'm hitting walls for no apparent reason. Anyway, I guess it was fun. I guess but I love Road America. We both did 3 laps of there during 1 lap, so that was a good couple of years ago. But fond memories. It was a nice day it was a beautiful day when we were there, close to the end of our trip. So yeah, it was a nice track, and we had a good time there. So that's what I know.
It is. It's a good track. The Thunder-Bird, we got the T-Bird because everyone else had a Monte Carlo, and we figured we need both. So we got the Thunder-Bird.
That's why Bill Elliott was so dominant back then, because the Thunder-Bird was
the Arrow Bird.
Had better arrow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we had our Thunder-Bird, and yeah, if it had brakes, it might actually be fun, but it doesn't have any brakes. Like it's so awful. It is kind of hard to keep it on track in those slow corners. But
it's fun.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's good.
No, we had lots of laughs though.
Yeah,
like we were all doing so badly, and we were just laugh at how badly we were all doing, and that was fun. And and so is hitting 160 something on the straight, even before you had to then brake for half of the straight. So good times.
Now we know.
You know who else always makes sure to brake early?
Sure.
Chrissy's mom.
Hi, Chrissy's mom.
Hi, Chrissy's mom.
Hi, Chrissy's mom.
Chrissy's mom just celebrated 6 months of being a grandma, didn't she?
Yes, she did. She also just celebrated not being COVID positive. That's great.
Oh, good for her.
Yay.
Are we ready for the main topic?
Hey, bus drivers, be careful.
Main topic time. We're talking about our own personal bus. Yes, it's long, it's enclosed, but there is no lots of people on it. There's only your race car on it.
This is not an RV show, correct?
No, not an RV show.
What you just said is all RV.
Oh, crap, you're right.
Yep,
all right, it's a big empty box. It carries your car. Not Mental's car. Sorry, Mental's
it carries my car. It's not a big empty box.
Oh. Are we talking about both enclosed and non-enclosed? Because I don't even think about that.
Just trailers.
Everything, apparently.
Chris is 50 yards behind Chrissy, getting himself a beverage or a snack. We can see him, and he's screaming from the background.
He's getting a snack.
Yeah, we're talking about both.
He can hear you. We just can't talk. And he can yell.
Oh, it's hilarious.
This time for snacks.
It's always time for snacks.
It's not time for snacks.
He said Thunder-Bird. I heard that.
This is a good thing to look into. If you're like Chris and your race car has been completely gone through and is completely ready, and then you went through it again to make sure it's completely ready, and you're still going to go through it one more time, and you are bored, and you don't live in Michigan, you can't make it to Gingerman, you can't make it to Willow. This is a great time to spend a little bit of investing your time in the thing that carries your race car.
Totes.
Just
so we should probably say whether we're talking enclosed or not enclosed for most of these, because most of my tips have to do about enclosed.
Yes, true.
And they just can't be used at all. I can't put flooring on an open trailer.
I'm not flooring. That's not my topic.
Really? I really like the 2-part epoxy I did. Okay.
Electricity.
Anyway, let's not argue.
Elitist. You're an elitist.
We are elitist.
No, you're an elitist. Right. Chrissy's on my side.
I don't
Chrissy, why don't you talk?
Okay, I just wasn't sure if we were just starting because this was just
just do it.
It's all kinds of. We're gonna be
go.
all over the place. I think with conversation. There's so many aspects of trailers. We are talking about enclosed for now. We will highlight parts that are not for enclosed, but I think especially since we all have Mental doesn't, but
two out of
two, and then we
trailers.
have a lot of, but we have a bunch of trailers that we run with that are enclosed. So let's do that. So we're going to talk painting and flooring first. So when we got our trailer, we used it and it was fine. But we looked at the walls and said it would look so much nicer with some paint. So start there. It's easy to do. Make it some color that's bright, very durable. And I think that's really going to help the look and feel. And you're just going to and then you can start sticking all the stuff onto it, which we'll talk about later. But trying to make it so that it is, you start with paint. It's easy to do.
You had raw wood when you first got it, right? No.
But I just want to give a background. That's why I have my hand
I
up.
can't see your
It's
hand.
20
There's an NSX in front of you.
Oh, sorry. It's a 20-foot ATC enclosed aluminum. We got it used. It already had Line X on the floor and had been painted white, but that paint was kind of bleeding through. The wood was bleeding through, and it had a lot of scuff marks on it, and it was a little dingy. So that's what was there, just to give a background. That's all.
Cool.
Thank you.
I should probably background mine, and then Mental, you can background yours. So I have a Southern Trailer Depot 20-foot V-nose that I got basically used but unused. It had sat for a year or two in a guy's yard and a pavement, but never moved anywhere. It only stored a muscle car. So
it looked great.
It looked great. It was like brand new.
Yeah.
So used, but it was pretty much brand new. And it had, I guess they're not painted walls. They're like covered walls, like sheathed white.
Yeah. It's like plywood with like vinyl on the outside of it, kind of thing.
It's like melamine.
It looks nice though.
It does.
It looks really nice.
Bright walls, raw floor. That's how I got it. Mental, talk about your rust bucket.
And we should mention, if you're shopping for a trailer, the same conventional wisdom when you're buying a car, buying an RV, and buying a trailer apply. Just get the nicest, newest one you can afford, which is why I bought Jeff's old rusty piece of crap when he lived in New Jersey. And I think I spent more in gas going and getting it. And I've done the math, Jeff. I know you spent more putting tires on it than I paid you for it.
Probably, yeah, that's for sure.
So I've got it. It's an open trailer with a storage area up front. You actually see this a lot with dirt trackers, and it's got the tire storage on there, and it is all depleted uranium and iron. It weighs as much as a battleship, which is actually part of it. Will be getting revisited this year and lightened quite a bit, but it's all steel floor, all steel construction, all steel boxed, everything steel. And I think they just added weights to it to make it heavier at the bottom of it. It used to have side panels. I think Jeff cut those off. It's got 14
I went from 10 gazillion pounds to 8 gazillion pounds when I cut those suckers off.
Yes. And it's got no less than 14, 15 different coats of various paint, from house paint to spray paint. Right before I left my job teaching, we'd actually planned on having our homecoming parade, and my ROTC detachment was going to, they painted up the trailer so they could be in the homecoming parade. The parade got canceled, and then my wife didn't want to drive across country with a blue spray painted trailer that said ROTC on it. So then it got spray painted black on top of that. So it's added a few colors in its absence.
It was rust and white when I had it. So we should also mention that I was also not the original owner of that.
No.
So a friend of Bruce's lent it to him when he was getting rid of his, was it a 26 or a 28? It was huge.
One of those.
It was huge. It could have been a 39 for all I know. The thing was ginormous. He had a ginormous enclosed, and when he towed it with the RV, they were above the legal length limit by like 3 feet. So he sold his totally tricked out enclosed 20 whatever and got a smaller, I think 24.
He's got a 20 now.
Got 20 now?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's whatever it is.
The 26 he had before was big and it was heavy. I towed that up to New Hampshire with my Suburban once, and it was working the hardest I've ever worked it with all the stuff Bruce had in it and that.
And I think it was windy, I think, when we were going into the headwind, I think.
So his friend who had a dirt tracker used to tow it on that, and he said, yeah, that trailer's yours now. And I had
touched it. It's yours.
Yeah. So I had been long-term borrowing Bruce's open trailer to tow the boat around, and he says, "You're going to purchase this from me now." And he sold it to me for single-digit hundreds of dollars, which I think is the same price I told Mental he could have it for. I don't remember exactly what the number was, but it was perfect. It was great. It was great for me because an open flat deck trailer, you must pack everything in the vehicle or in the race car. Flat deck trailer,
your RV.
Yeah, or if a flat deck trailer with a giant box on the front, you can actually leave all the parts and things in it. So storage to me is key, and we're going to talk a lot about that on this part of the podcast because we're talking about how to make your trailer better.
So real quick, we did, and I'm joking, but not joking. When you're buying a trailer, buy the nicest, newest one you can afford. This was just a deal I couldn't pass up. And we'll, like Chrissy said, we're jumping all over the place. My friend Jerry, the Inglorious Bastards, he has a Mac Daddy trailer, and he got a screaming deal, like $5,000 off, because somebody had ordered it custom, and when it showed up, it wasn't the color they wanted. So if you're willing to compromise on a few little just oddball things like color or one or two options, usually trailer dealers are willing to make a deal for something that's been sitting on their lot for a while. So it pays to shop.
Georgia also seems to be the place where all trailers are built.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. They're like all next to each other too on the highway on 95 there, just so they can ship them out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now we know where we're coming from. Back to Chrissy.
Flooring.
All right,
Painting.
we're painting. We're gonna paint.
Flooring.
No, flooring. Sure. All right, so make sure you paint it. It's nice when it's bright, but thinking about the handprints that are on our garage, maybe gray or black is your color. Maybe you can wash it or something.
Just use a higher gloss paint that wipes off a lot better than the matte finishes.
Well, that's the good thing about the veneer that I have on mine is it's kind of scrubbable.
Mm-hmm.
Have you scrubbed it?
No. Why would I scrub it?
Has he cleaned the soup out of his car?
Yes.
No.
Okay, anyway, let's move on to flooring. So you have a couple different options for flooring. You could do truck bed liner. That is really durable. It's a really good option. We can do that. You probably can roll and spray, I would think. Totally, right?
Yeah, either one.
Get it in any kind.
Yes.
It is dark though if you get the normal stuff, and that's
sure, but dark is not so bad. We're talking about, we got some other terrible ideas on this list.
Oh, sure.
Of options of what you could do for flooring. Garage floor epoxy with non-skid. Jeff will take that and talk about that in a little bit. Because that's what he likes. Rubber coin floor. So a durable type of floor that has like the coins, like little circles that are kind of popped out. And
that's what that's called.
Well, sure, the little coins.
I know you've seen it.
Yeah.
No. As soon as she described it, right. Yeah.
So that's an option. Another option is carpet, which seems like a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea.
I've seen it. I don't know why.
Doesn't mean it's good because
yeah.
No, because before we started the show, we said that carpet eats everything. So even if you decide that you're going to bring your, what did we say? Your Pebble Beach drive.
Your Duesenberg Concord to Pebble Beach, right?
Right. You're going to roll it in.
Your Stutz Bearcat.
But the problem is if it has a liquid, it can still come out, and therefore it will go into the carpet. And then
I'm not a carpet fan. I'm voting with
it's
you
like putting
carpet eats it.
It's like putting carpet in your basement, which is also a terrible idea. Just don't do it. Or you get your friend Bill, the ceramist, to make you something as he did for his own trailer, because he can come up and make a little mixture and find something that's very durable, washable, and you could do that. But yes,
didn't know he did that.
My plug is that you can usually power wash it. So it's nice to be able to get all the oil, because inevitably, especially your race car will probably get some kind of fluid onto the floor of your trailer. So it's nice to be able to clean it off, especially when you're walking around it, if the car's out of it, and moving things around. So that's a great idea as well.
Yeah, so I did the 2-part epoxy. I bought like the garage kit at the local Home, Lowe's, Depot, Ghetto, whatever. Rust-Oleum, blah, branded. And I love it. You do have to prep. If you have oil on it, you got to take care of that first. Mine didn't have oil on it because nothing had been stored in it really, except for some rubber. So quick scrubby with a brush, and I was ready to go. You could make it non-skid. You just put the little dusty stuff in it. It was definitely cheaper than like the rubber coin because I would love to have that, but that was a lot more expensive. It's not going to last forever, and I wanted to say that. If you put this on well-prepped concrete, it is a near forever, it is a many, 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 many year solution. A wooden floor with 2-part epoxy, it's going to be stronger. It's going to defend itself against liquid intrusion, but it's going to wear off. Not because the epoxy is wearing off, but because the wood is wearing. So don't think it's a forever, but it's nice. I add the non-skid stuff. I did light gray for the exact same reason that Chrissy and Chris were already talking about keeping it a nice light color. I threw the little speckles on it. Looks great, works great. Probably not as nice as the rubber coin, but damn, it was a lot cheaper.
Yours is holding up well too.
Yeah.
And as someone that is slipped on paint, you could, if you go with a really smooth, glossy show car style surface, think about safety on this, because those really polished surfaces, you get the slightest bit of even just a bottle of water on there and you are looking to bust. And I've done that. I've gone ankles overhead and landed on my back, and it is not fun. It hurts. And that was when I was younger and could get up and just go, nowadays it'd just be like leave me here, man. Leave me here. We can't move the car. Just roll it over me because I'm not moving situation. So it is important. Mine, I'm going to be going with an outside, and I'm going with a diamond plate, but that will also, in rain or if there's any sort of lubricant on there, get very slick very quickly. So one of the tricks you can do, like Jeff said, add the dust or literally pour sand into your coating, and the sand will give you a little bit more of an adhesive texture. Not going to stick as well to the surface as it would, but you're not going to fall and bust your nugget open.
You could also use truck bed liner on an open trailer to give you traction.
I've heard good things about the truck bed liner. Yep.
Or there are a whole variety of marine non-skid products that are supposed to be used for decking. I've become quite familiar with the current state of affairs of all marine products. And they have a lot of different options for you there. So if you want a different kind of non-skid there too, or epoxy, that again, there's all kinds of marine stuff that I could point you to. I love West System for everything fiberglass related as a base. It's amazing. So
if
it'll grab to metal with the same kind of properties.
It'll grab to everything. Well, you have to prep the surface, like rough it down a bit, so that it's got something to tooth into. But it's a secondary bond, not a primary, because it's attaching to something that's already existing. But if you have it roughed up enough, it's got something to grip into. Stuff's amazing.
So I'm going to ask the panel a question. If you do go with rubber coin or carpet for your Bugatti Stutz Bearcat, how does it stay attached? Like, do you staple? I
think they glue it down.
Like, don't like the first time you try and peel wheels out of your trailer, like the carpet shoots out, the car stays where.
No, they glue it down.
All right.
Pretty much carpet glue.
Yeah, you can commercial carpet.
Squares. You can get the squares that you can peel up and put back.
Well, I know people have used the tile, like garage tile, but that's way expensive. It's great, but
also slippery and
probably heavy.
Like the VCT, like the vinyl commercial tile, like we have in the basement.
Oh no, I meant like garage floor squishy tile, like puzzle tile.
The stuff
like
you
garage decking.
Like garage decking, yeah.
You could do that. Cool. I never liked that stuff because you're going to leak something, and it's going to leak through the seams, and then you're never, ever, ever going to be able to clean it up.
No.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
And there's a 50% chance that whatever you're leaking is corrosive.
Okay, we have so many more topics than
so many.
Let's move.
All right.
Next topic.
Electricity.
Yeah, you tell me all about it because I don't got none.
Well, we just did all this. That's what kind of prompted this topic, because that was the project we were doing while it was still too cold to do the boat, and then suddenly it's too hot to do the boat. So it's been great. You can even do some of this with a open trailer, just to be able to have a way to split outlets out and things. But in general, electricity is great so that A, you can plug stuff in more than one place without having to run extension cords everywhere. And B, it's actually, there's three things. B, so that you can run air conditioning and or heating inside the box. C, so that you can run lighting and see things. You can do any kind of mixture of AC and DC for this, or you can do a mix of both. Now, you could run all that with AC. You could just have the AC. The basics of it, you could just run an extension cord or a peg power strip and plug stuff in. That's
where I'm at.
Right. It works, but it's terrible. The next thing you can do is basically you borrow stuff from the RV world and get a RV power distribution center. This is exactly designed to do this job. It's designed to take the shore power and then branch it off into AC circuits and DC circuits right there. So even if you're not using the DC, you can still use this kind of thing. They're not that expensive. And then you just wire the trailer with normal household Romex wire. If you're running, and then it's just normal wiring. Like if you're running 20 amp plugs, run 12-2 wire. There you go. Done. And just run that to normal outlets. And if you get the thin outlets, they are enough to fit, in the normal enclosed trailer wall. The thin boxes, not the normal box, the deep box, the thin ones. They fit in the 1-inch wall spacing on the trailer. And you just have your outlets cut into the side, cut into the plywood. That's it. It's really that simple. Put some breakers in the box, wire it into the AC power. You're done. You can then also connect so that runs all your AC stuff. However many, you can buy different size breakers, different size boxes to run different breakers, etc. It's pretty straightforward, except you have to take all the trailer apart to run the wires, or you have to run conduit everywhere, which is simple and effective, but looks terrible.
It is something I imagine you want to plan ahead because you're already doing the floor anyway, so some of that stuff's going to come out, at least on your
potentially.
trailer.
Well, yeah. And this is why we ended up insulating ours, is because I said, well, I really want to have outlets in there. And if I get all the walls off, well, I'm definitely going to insulate it. So yeah, that's next, and onto air conditioning, heating, insulation.
So anyway. We mentioned Bruce before we go on too far. He has the conduit. He's gone the conduit while he didn't take his walls apart for his electrical system. And it's very convenient to hang coat hangers on the conduit.
True. Absolutely.
There's so much stuff that I've hung in his garage, on his trailer, just for like coat hanger.
And I did use conduit in one place. That's from the plug, the shore power plug on the outside up to the power distribution center, because the shore power plug was a little too big. Like it was going to stick through and out, more than the inch that is the wall. So it was going to have to come out of the wall. So in order to be safe in a trailer where all kinds of stuff is moving and falling down as you're driving, etc., we wanted it to be secure. So it's in conduit from there up to the power distribution center.
Cool.
So now DC is another option. You can run pretty much everything DC too. You can get a couple of good deep cycle batteries, mount those somewhere, run a power inverter, and then from the inverter you can run through all the AC, through normal Romex wires to outlets around the trailer. If you get a really big inverter, you can go in a couple thousand watts. You can run most of what you need. It's a big draw on the batteries, but if you have big batteries and a good charger, that's possible. You can do that too.
And you can even wire those batteries to charge off of your vehicle system while you're driving.
Yep. In fact, I think actually that's pretty easy because most trailers have the 12-volt wiring from the 7-pin already in there. So I have that hooked up, and so that it'll charge those batteries. And you could also rig up a solar thing, which we can talk about later in a bit. Or if you have the power distribution center from the RV, you can hook the DC into that as well. Just mount your batteries stable, with a good stable place. I ended up mounting ours underneath the floor of the trailer toward the front. So it was a short run of the wire, but I wanted it out of the way and I wanted it low. You can also, and really I thought a box in the floor would be great. Those are stupid expensive to get those boxes, like $200 or something for a box to drop your battery in the floor of your trailer. And yeah, dumb. If you have a sheet metal breaker, you're pretty good. You can probably make one pretty easily. I ended up making an L-shaped bracket out of stuff I had around because it was the COVID time and you couldn't go anywhere and get anything. So I made it out of whatever we had around. It works. It's fine. It's
So-
passing under now.
What's the street prices for one of these converter deals?
Like $130 for the one I got. It was a
Oh, that's
30
not
amp,
bad.
pretty small one. Right, it's pretty small. But you got to do obviously installation. You still need a plug. You still need the wires. You still need some breakers. But the converter box will charge your battery when you're plugged into shore power. And it's from an RV. It's designed for a small travel trailer. Think about how those work. People have the battery to run the lights. They have the power for shore power. They run everything off of it. That's what you need to do. Like, let's not go crazy here. Someone's already solved this problem, and it's pretty cheap.
Yeah,
So
I love this. This is awesome.
we'll do that.
I want to do it.
From the DC out of that, I ran into a switch panel I got for a boat. It has 5 switches, a round power plug and 2 USB plugs, and a voltmeter on it, so you know how your battery's doing. So I ran that on the other side of the trailer. Again, all this is on the leading edge, the front wall of the trailer. And so as soon as I walk in the trailer, I could reach up to my right and hit the switch to turn the lights on. And then the next one is a different set of lights. The next one is a different set of lights. One after that is to turn the power plugs on, the 12-volt ones. And then one after that is empty, because I might want something else someday. But all that is actually...
It does nothing.
It does nothing. But
The
all that's
switch,
actually...
it does not sing.
It's plugged into the connector for a Honda distributor, because I had an extra one around and it has like 12 pins on it. So I put them all through that connector. So in case I want to take that out or take the shelving units that's mounted to off, I can without cutting all the wires. So think about stuff like that when you're doing it.
This is awesome. I
and
still
that's
want to do it. I'm so jealous.
The solar is a possibility. The technology's come a long way. You could put a panel or 2 on your roof. You can rig those to charge your batteries. It's all available out there. You can Google it and learn more, but it is an option to think about. Our trailer sits under trees all the time, and it's close to the house, so I can run it off the shore power. But if you live in the desert, maybe it works great.
And I wanted to talk about solar. So the whole time I was on the East Coast, you just don't think about solar. Not just most of the time your trailer's gonna be parked under trees or things like that. You've got hailstorms. We get a lot of just kind of aggressive stuff. But out here on the West Coast, and I've talked about this before, the tracks are very sparse. There's not a lot of shore power there. It's everything is CMP. There's one plug and everybody's surrounded that one.
Hell yeah.
But on the solar, yes, the technology's come along. What's really interesting too is you've got house solar units that they're pulling the solar panels off of houses because the technology's gotten, well, these house solar panels are still good. They're just not providing enough electricity to run a house. So look into used solar panels, and you'd be alarmed at, or not alarmed, but you'd be impressed at how cheap you can get them sometimes, especially if you're just looking for 1 or 2. And that's more than enough to power everything on your trailer. And again, there's no mystery to this. These problems have all been solved. Get on the YouTube, research, email people that have done this before. And if you're looking to do something, I would even argue Texas, New Mexico, Arizona out here, it's worth the investment. And even though I've got an open trailer because I'm going to have some lighting and some plugs to it, there's definitely solar in its future.
It's awesome. I didn't know you could buy used solar panels. I am now on Facebook Marketplace, and single panels, which are like 275 watts, 250 watts. There's some other good ones in here. $130, $140, $150, depending.
Exactly.
And they're
That's a lot
house
of power.
panels that have been pulled off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So continuing on this, once you've got power, one of the reasons you want power is climate control. You are at a hot race, or sometimes you sleep in your trailer. That's great. It's a great way to get out of the weather. Or you need a place just to get away during the day. That is either warm if it's cold or cool if it's hot. You need a place to do that, and also insulation, because really you can put all the cold or hot air you want in it, and it's just going to go right out through those R-value 0 metal walls that you've got in there. So enclosed trailers are all built on 1-inch thick walls with usually 24-inch spacing, sometimes 36. So if you take down your interior panels, including your ceiling, you'll see all of that open space. all you need to do is get some 1-inch thick foam, rigid foam insulation board panels and put those up. And there are two different kinds of those. There's the pink one we're all used to, and then there's the other kind that has foil backing on it. The foil backing kind is better. It's a different kind of foam that gives you a little bit more insulation value. It gives you like an extra point. And Jeff, your microphone's muted.
Sorry, it's light blue, right? The foil back
no,
stuff?
it's the one I have is yellow.
Oh, okay.
I forget the different names of them, but this is what you're essentially
right now. Everybody who does HVAC for a living, like Dave and all, they're like, all right, don't you know?
That's the same stuff I bought. It's stuffed in all of the windows of my RV while it's in storage to keep the inside from being an oven. The reflective on one side, yellow, squishy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So the foil also gives you a bit of a barrier too. So I got a whole bunch of those panels and cut them, and then here's what it's called. The pink stuff is called extruded polystyrene.
All right.
And the foil back closed cell foam is called Policio or Policio Connect. I don't know, something. Policio is what people usually call it. It is the most energy efficient, highest R value to get that. So it wasn't much more expensive. I said, I'm never doing this damn thing again. So I got the good stuff.
Get the good stuff, yeah.
You also will need like 5 rolls of HVAC aluminum foil tape to tape all the seams. Because once you put it in, it's not going to be perfect. If you get some big gaps, get some great stuff, fill those up, and then tape up every seam to get rid of the air movement there. If you really want to go crazy, you then put a kind of a foam barrier over the entire thing, because at this point you still have the thermal transfer through the studs of the trailer from the outside, and you can feel the difference, putting your hand where a stud is and putting it where it's not. But that's going really crazy, like if you were making an enclosed trailer into a stealth camper kind of thing.
Yes.
That's what we do.
Stealth camper.
I just taped it up and then put the plywood back up and then put the ceiling back up. But it's insulated in every single wall right now, doubled up in most of the ceiling with expanding foam in all the joints. So it makes a notable difference in how hot it gets in the sun and how much it retains heat when it was cold. We tried both. It works great. So for air conditioning, you got a couple options, and heating too, really. Heating's easy. You just put a space heater in there. That works pretty well. It's electric. That's fine. Don't run a propane heater in your trailer with the door closed. You're gonna have a bad time.
Unless you're a frozen pig, in which case it's okay.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's still not
okay.
because somebody has
Still
to go
okay.
in there.
Yep.
Just hold your breath. Go in.
And actually, and we make jokes, but Chrissy, why is that a bad idea? Tell everyone who out there. I mean, we
Because
believe
you
you.
die.
Shut it. Let Chrissy talk. What actually is the danger and what is going to kill you?
I think it's carbon monoxide.
Yeah. Yep. Byproduct of combustion.
There you go. Now all the chemists out there are like going, never mind.
Yeah.
Carbon monoxide.
So don't do that, kids. So for air conditioning, you can get a rooftop AC. You've seen these on plenty of people's trailers. Some of them will turn the heat pump around backwards to become a heater for you. They all work fine. You end up like a minimum of $1,500 by the time you're said and done with the unit and the control panel and whatnot on the inside. So it's expensive. The way we went, and I haven't used it yet, but I've got it, is a household floor standing air conditioning unit that has a hosed vent outside. These are much cheaper. Like I think we got ours on Prime Day for $300 or something like that. So, and ours can be turned around to be a heater as well. So something like that, all you have to do is cut a hole in the wall for a 6-inch vent hose to go out, put a household cap over that, and then you've got your air conditioning unit. And then you can bring it other places too. Like maybe you want to cool off your garage on those hottest of hell days and you want to just take the edge off in the garage, and now you get something else to do it with.
That's why it's got wheels, right?
Yep, exactly. So it's a little more useful and it's a lot cheaper. And if something goes wrong with it, you know what? Well, you can get another one and you're still ahead of the game. So, and plus you're not going to then hit it on stuff because it sticks up above your trailer. It's not going to hit every tree branch and everything else that you might catch it on. So that's how to get power and insulation and climate control in your big box.
That's awesome. You
so
mentioned
think about lighting it.
That's what I was gonna say. You mentioned lights. Why don't you talk about lights?
Metal's going to talk about lights a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I'll add a little more as we go because I just did all this.
And Lighting, duh. Especially you have an enclosed trailer. It's one of those things. If you're new to this, you don't think about it until it's absolutely too late. You rolled into the track. It's about 7:30, 8 o'clock. It's dark. You've gotten to your spot, and now you got to unload. And oh crap, it would be great right about now. So the headlamps aren't cutting it, and you've bashed your shins 30 times. Get in there now. We talked about early on, Jeff, you put those the LEDs from Sears in your garage.
Sam's Club, close enough.
Sam's Club. LEDs are stupid cheap. And everywhere. You could get battery powered ones if you don't want to do all this electrical stuff, and they'll still screw into place, and they're rechargeable and USB powered and all this kind of stuff. You need lights inside, obvious, and don't put them where they're aesthetically pleasing. Put them where you need light. If you've got a workbench up to the front, or that you're going to have to get up under the car to disconnect the tie straps, put the light where you're going to need it. And this takes a little bit of planning. Go out there with your notebook. When you're unloading the trailer, where are you spending your time, both inside and outside the trailer? If you've got one of the side entry doors or an escape hatch and you find yourself in and out of that a lot, a good LED strip light right there is a good thing to have, because that's going to keep you from dropping, scratching, bashing things while you're doing that sort of stuff. Where are you spending all of your time in the trailer? Most new trailers on the back, they have the 2 ramp lights that'll shine down. My RV even has those. And if yours doesn't, look into putting one of those on there. So LEDs, they are cheap, easy, reliable, and they don't generate a lot of heat like the old halogen lamps that we had for the other thing. The other thing to think about is not just lighting to help you, but your road lighting. A key to this is side marker lights. Yeah, they should be where your wheels are, and then there should be another one at the back of the trailer, so that if you're executing a pass and you don't have a rear view camera, you know that you're in front of the car you're trying to cut off when you put your trailer back in the right lane. So have those yellow marking lights, look through those, change those bulbs on there. It just gives you a scale of where the trailer is. And Jeff, you got something on that one.
Holy cow, this is amazing. I didn't mention, but my 20-foot enclosed Vinos is gloss black. I cannot see the trailer out of these slightly tinted windows into the mirrors. So I have to crank my mirrors like all the way up to catch the LEDs on the corners of the trailer. So I went on a Wish shopping spree, by the way. Wish, for those of you who have never ordered from Wish, is like a present slot machine. Like, you just kind of order stuff, and you order stuff, and you order stuff, and then
you get it 6 years later.
And then all of a sudden it's like, bam, you got stuff.
Oh,
like,
I ordered this?
You forgot you ordered it. So the other day I got rolls and rolls of several different colors and several different models of reflective tape.
Also a good thing.
I was going to add reflective tape all over my trailer so that I could see it in the dark.
All right. And my last thing on this is brake lights. Good, solid LED brake lights. If you got the old school Harbor Freight, screw in bulbs, get rid of them. Invest in a set of LED brake lights. Most of the trailer brake lights now, if it's a ramp door, they're extremely low. Maybe consider putting another one up high. And I don't say this as someone who tows a lot. I say this as someone who's on the freeway all the time with people who have bad trailer lights on their gloss black trailers, and you're not entirely sure that they're slowing down or stopping as you come rolling up on them. So just do yourself a favor, spend the $15 on a good set of LED brake lights.
That's awesome. We went out to Pittsburgh, and Chris was like, your taillight's out, your taillight's out, your taillight's out, your taillight's out. And I went to the old Walmart, and I got a set of LED burners that will burn your retinas out for like $20. LED lights are so cheap. Why the world isn't using them I have no idea who's still putting like little incandescents in trailers and things.
The headlights on our new Mercedes are LEDs, and it's great when you turn the high beams on. I did this the other night. It just kind of gives a vertical beam of light and then spreads it apart, because it's actually changing the focus of the light. Like it changes the lenses, and then a car comes and you see it. It'll be out, and then you'll see the one side just come on in. because it changes the focus of the light in that headlight to bring it away from the car.
Oh, so it has like a light sensor, a photo sensor. It realizes a car is coming and pulls the light away from them.
It reshapes the beam
That's
of light
awesome.
away from the car that's coming, and then when they're gone, it reshapes the beam again to fill that area in. It's amazing. But anyway, back to trailer lights. I'm going to give a plug for the rolls of LED strip under cabinet lights.
Hell yeah. This is what I want to do my whole box in.
We have them under the cabinets in the house. Actually, we have them on top of the cabinets of the house for ambient light. It works great. This is what we put everywhere in the trailer. I used 3 strips of them. One, down each side of the corners, because when I put the trim back in the corners of the top of the trailer between the walls and the ceiling, I put it at a 45-degree angle. I then put the LED strip lights right on that 45-degree angle. It bounces off the ceiling. It bounces off the walls. It's amazing how bright it gets in there. And then I ran it on the back of the trailer. I had enough left that I ran it from one side along 85% of the back wall of the trailer, right next to the door, has that too. So that all lights the trailer up
like
so
vertical,
nicely.
like up and down, like near the hole?
Horizontally across the top.
Like on the roof.
Yeah,
ceiling.
on the roof.
Ceiling.
Yep, on the ceiling. Yep.
Inside ceiling.
So it's there too. And then I put another strip under the upper cabinet. We have one upper cabinet in ours that came with it. So we've got one under there. So when I put a workbench under it, I'll have under cabinet lighting to light tasks on the workbench. But that stuff, it's so cheap. It's so easy to use. It's so easy to work with. And if it doesn't stick well to what you're doing, like it wasn't sticking to one side of ours, just buy a $6 roll of foam tape, double-sided good foam tape. Put that down. It sticks on. It works great. It's cheap. It's easy. It's lightweight. It takes no electricity. You can put it anywhere. You can make it whatever shape you want. It's fantastic.
You could like write things in it. You could like if you write cursive, you can just write. Anyway,
Yeah.
I bought a lot of this stuff and I haven't put any of it in yet, so I'm excited to get involved.
It all runs on 12 volts. So when it's in the house, you have to get a converter to convert AC to 12 volt. But when you're already in a 12 volt system, boom,
just plug it right in. You probably have a crappy dome light now that already like I have a crappy dome light that has an incandescent bulb in it that runs off a light switch right by my door.
Yep.
I just have to make
eats through your battery at an obnoxious rate and provides roughly the same amount of light as a Bic lighter at a Megadeth concert.
And it's one little tiny light bulb.
I thought you had 3 of them down, a couple of them running down.
Maybe I do. Center. I don't know. It's terrible.
Yours is better than mine. I had one, and the switch is up on the ceiling. You had to reach up to touch the light. To turn it on.
Yeah. At least mine had a light switch near the door. Yeah.
I had to stumble into the trailer over whatever fell down to find the light on the ceiling.
Or really just make sure you go in with your cell phone light.
Yeah.
That's what
now, as soon as I reach in, hit the switch, lights up. It's not quite as bright as the basement where you can perform surgery, but it's everything you need.
So Chris immediately started putting electricity in his trailer. I wanted storage. I have a storage need in my life because my crap is all over the place, as we've already discussed. So I immediately started screwing things right to the wall. I love E-Track. I bought a lot of E-Track. By the way, you could buy E-Track on many different places, but Amazon sells E-Track like dirt cheap in lots of shapes and lots of flavors. So don't try and buy it at your Harbor Freight or wherever. You get so much cheaper. But anyway,
just do the math on how much it is by the foot. Like I got like 48 feet of it. I think I got at Amazon because I'm going to run it all the way down most of the walls at like 3-foot height, so I can strap stuff to it and.
Perfect. Absolutely.
E-Track, it's the most versatile stuff in the world. Jeff, tell us about it.
So I love E-Track. I want to build everything out of E-Track. I want to build storage and beds and benches and everything based on E-Track so you can move it around. Those of you who don't know what E-Track is, I guess we should mention it because, Bill thinks I have a Simpson-shaped head because I told him once, like he thinks it looks like Marge Simpson. So E-Track is basically like steel railroad track looking stuff that has very specific holes in it that receives an industry standard E-clip. So you can basically bolt this stuff to any flat surface and then clip in 1,000 different things. Do you want to put it on your floor and then clip your car onto it? You can do that. Do you want to put it on the wall so that you can clip things to the wall? You can do that. Do you want to put it on the ceiling so you can clip things on the ceiling? You can do that. They have 2x4 holders. They have
a
I-ring.
million attachments for it.
A million attachments for it. So I got very excited for this, and I designed like a workbench for it. And I'm going to get to the other stuff in a minute, but since I'm talking about E-Track, I wanted a workbench. And I saw this guy on YouTube who used the 2x4 holders, and he built his workbench to hang off the E-Track off of both sides of his trailer. So he could lower it down to 2 feet, use it as a bed. He could raise it up to 6 feet, put 6-foot stuff under it. He could put it at 3 feet and use it as a workbench. I said, this is brilliant. I have a V-nose. Bam, I built it. I didn't build it big enough. So I have to rebuild it. Like the triangle is too small. Like I just put it in the triangle. I should have put like 6 or 8 inches of the square part, if that makes sense. So yeah, you can build everything. I've seen beds. I've seen workbenches. I've seen
Well, with the 2x4 holders, you can just drop a couple 2x4s and a piece of plywood on top, and boom, there's a platform that you can put a mattress on, an air mattress or whatever on, and you're off the floor. You could even have it like over the bed or over the car kind of thing. Yeah, all kinds of stuff you can do. Mental.
Am I the only one that's worried about sleeping in Jeff's trailer?
You
like
should be.
It feels like almost a comic version of Hostel, kind of like what would happen to me while I'm asleep in Jeff's trailer.
Actually, I'm usually in the RV, so the only people in my trailer is Hamza or Eric.
I just feel like your trailer is like just this zone where maybe like there's different morality in there.
You'll find something that for sure that you may not have expected to find.
It's true. It's true. So anyway, so let's talk about other storage kind of things. All the crap you need to take to your to the track. You can now build the custom shaped boxes and hooks and things for all the stuff you normally bring. How are you going to secure your fuel cans? Where are you going to put your race suit? Where are you going to put your helmet? Where are you going to put your... But here's one that nobody ever remembers, and I think it's awesome, is strap hooks. You got to have a place to put your straps. The very first thing you do when you take a race car trailer is you take the straps off and you throw the straps on the floor. And that's a terrible thing to do.
Trip over them all weekend till you kick them in the corner.
They're kicked around, everything. Have a thing on the side, right by the door. Click, 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 clip in the little hooks.
Yeah, I was so happy mine came with it. I totally put that back on. And then I took a piece of aluminum underneath it and put that on the wall a couple of feet down for a scuff guard.
So what does your hook rack look like? Is it like a bar that you clip everything into?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, it's a bar. It's a bar that clips on. You screw it in, but screw it. Let's just say when you're screwing stuff into your trailer, try to screw it into the studs themselves, not just the plywood. And make sure your screws are long enough.
Right, because this is what happened.
Too long.
I had a very nice. I bought it from Pit Products. Is that Pit Pal Products?
Yeah. Their stuff's great, but they're very proud of it.
It's a little expensive. It looks like a towel hook, but it also has like a space you can put oil cans in. And
can.
Yes. No, not that one. Not that kind. Not the click click kind. Like the anyway.
He hates these cans.
Exactly. I screwed it in. I used 2 short of screws, and it fell off the very first time I moved it. I also, for $5, I bought a hose holder. It's kind of like a U, but kind of like a V-shaped U, and it like sticks out from the wall. And that is the greatest strap holder ever. I would not buy a Pit Pal product to hold my straps ever again, although I do like holding the oil can, so I will put it back. But man, hose holder, who knew?
And I want to throw out a thing about getting your straps off the floor. It's something we forget all the time, and we've all been in the races where like people even have those on the paddock. Grease, sand, oil, all of these things get into the fabric, the actual weave of those straps, and that's how they fail. And they'll get ground into the pavement. And if you got a really nice enclosed trailer, have your car bouncing around in there for about 3 hours and see how nice it is afterwards after one of your straps have failed and you didn't see it because it's an enclosed trailer and it's smashed into all the stuff. Or it smashes into the wrong thing and lights a fire. Who was the team that was coming back from Colorado and burned their trailer and their car?
It was an Integra that was in it.
Yeah.
I don't remember what their name was.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're rolling coal. Oh, nope. Oh, no.
Oh yeah. I have a lumber rack, which is like two L-shaped things that kind of stick off, and they're like 6-8 feet apart. Because you know what? You carry long things. You don't. Where's the monkey? Don't do the penis joke. You carry tube. You carry 2x4s. You carry long stuff. Why not have something that looks like a lumber rack to put all that stuff in?
With E-Track, you can just get these hooks. Like I've got these, kind of square-ish hooks that clip into the E-Track, so you can clip those wherever you want. Put that in there too if you have a long enough run of E-Track. Another thing that I got that I'm interested to see how well it works is I got a folding tire rack.
Ooh.
That I've mounted to the wall toward the rear of the trailer because I'm trying to get some weight in the back to even it out. So when it's folded, it folds right up against the wall. It sticks out about 1.5 inches. When it's down, it's enough that it'll fit a set of 4 tires and not hit the ceiling. And I think it'll clear the car too. We're going to find out. But something
that's
like
a good
that,
thing about E-Track. If you do it vertically, you could just put it up one more notch.
This is on the wall.
True. Yeah. Well, this is not.
Oh, it's not an E-Track.
Wall.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a screw into the wall thing, and I screwed it into the wall a lot. Hopefully it'll work.
It's supposed to hold a lot of tires, and
it is.
Some of them are
Exactly.
heavier.
Yeah. Spare tire mounting is another thing that's important. Jeff, where's your spare tire mounted?
Underneath the floor.
So, the first thing you have to do if you need to get that spare tire out,
unpack
on the side
the entire effing trailer.
Okay, there you
on
go.
On the side of the what's the bridge going into Delaware? On the side of that bridge.
yeah. And the Delaware Memorial. But it's going to make a great battery box when I convert this sucker and put electricity in.
Absolutely, it is. That's going to be fantastic. And then you can just mount your spare tire to the E-Track on the wall. They have E-Track spare tire mounts. Or I made one just out of scrap steel I had around. I made it a U that has, at the top of the U has little kind of feet facing in. Those were screwed into the frame of the trailer, and this tire actually sits on the floor. And then through one of the lug bolt holes, I took I found the hand screw that you use to hold down the spare tire in a Civic. I had that in the junk pile somewhere.
I got you.
And then on the back side of the metal, the bar stock I used to make this U, I welded a nut that was the right size. So now I just put the wheel up against the wall in the right spot. It's all the way at the back of the trailer. Screw this hand nut thing on, and it stays perfectly. And it's on the very back, keeps the load there, easily accessible, no problem.
That's awesome. I have experimented several times with D-rings and bungee cords to hold the fuel cans. That doesn't work. Come up with a better idea. I'll leave it to the listeners. Hey, listeners, do you have a really good way that you keep all your square fuel jazz cans in your trailer that isn't made by extremely expensive aluminum company that we mentioned earlier? Because yes, I see them every time I shop. I'm not buying them. But
if they wanted to totally sponsor us,
I would say your name 5 times a show if I got a couple of those. Yeah.
How about E-Track hooks, like a big enough hook, and just hook the handle over it? If it's not full, there you go.
Yeah,
it's out of the way. It's off the floor.
The problem with the bungee cords is they flop. So you put it through the handles, and then
I'm just thinking a hook. Like
they stay tethered, but they go all over the place.
Like a big hook off of the E-Track, like that, and you just hook the handle over that, and it hangs on the handle.
Maybe, I don't know. That's a good question. It had to be a pretty far out hook, which I'd worry about like catching my eye when they're not hooked on it.
True.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll find out if anybody has any ideas.
All right. So,
can I go back to workbenches before you go, Metzel, just to say 2 things? 2 quick workbench thoughts, and we're going to call out Bruce again. He has a real live workbench that is a solid mounted thing in the front of his V-nose trailer, but he also has a big board and a big piano hinge that folds down and is his other table. And they're both work great, so I think you can do both designs. But if you don't have a vise, you don't have a workbench. Go buy a vise. It is the most important thing that you're going to need at the track. Go ahead, Mental. I'm done talking about workbenches.
Well, actually, the vise is an excellent segue because I wanted to go into everyone that listens to the show, no matter what series you run, you've got a piece of equipment you carry with you. We've got the cooktop surface, the grill that we love, and it requires some specialty storage, some of that other kind of stuff. I see something typed in here that is of key importance that Chrissy wants to talk about.
She's like, I do.
The Scooty rack?
Scooter
Yes.
X.
Not scooter, Scooty.
Yeah, that's what I said. Scooty rack.
Yeah. Jeff was trying to be all, no.
Yeah, just a good way to hold your specialty items in your trailer. I don't even know where this came to be. Where did you even find
It was
this?
originally a Harbor Freight hitch-mounted motorcycle carrier. So you put it in your trailer hitch and you drive the motorcycle up the side, and we actually use it that way. Remember, we drove up all the way up to Cape Cod with it behind the sub.
Yeah,
And so then originally I made on our open trailer, I welded a receiver to the deck of the open trailer to put this thing in.
I remember that.
And that worked great. I couldn't weld it to this one because it's aluminum. So I just bolted it. I made some
big U-bolts, right?
Essentially
with
threaded rod around the trailer frame, and it holds it there. But it's a way to keep the trailer or keep the scooter out of the way. It's on the tongue basically because I don't have a V nose. So in the place of the V nose is Scooty, and it's a way to easily access it without unpacking the trailer or without a lot of work. Just get it on and off, and keeps it out of the way of the rest of the trailer and the box and things. It's unused space.
Cool.
Many years ago, I was driving back from Alabama.
Many years ago, the way all great mental stories start.
To Georgia, and
Usually they start with folks.
I see a
Folks,
Super
many
Duty.
years ago.
I see a
Myself
Super
and
Duty.
blah, blah, blah.
We
All right,
done?
go mental. No, we're done. We're done.
I see a Super Duty truck with a fully enclosed trailer pulled off to the side, hazard flashers going. Naturally, I want to stop and make sure they don't need anything, and it's all locked up and secure. Oh, okay. Well, then there's nothing I can do. And I get down the road about another mile or so, and there on the side of the road in a median is clearly the owner of this truck on his pit scooter doing every bit of 20 with a gas can, because he was trying to get one more exit. So having that scooter accessible might just save you a whole lot of hassle one day.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, at least he had the pit scooter. He didn't have to rollerblade the next exit.
Right?
Or Death Cycle with the Harbor Freight Predator motor, or Death Ski, or Jazzy Chair all the way to the next exit with a gas.
Yeah, but that would get you someone to stop and help you. If you're riding your mobility chair down the side of the highway.
Oh yeah, someone's pulling over to help you.
Well, and then would they stay there when you stood up and go, "Yeah,
no,
this would be great.
I wouldn't stay up. I would lie. I would be like, I need this guy's help. All right. My favorite line in a movie, the Princess Bride is it Princess Bride? No, I'm not sure. I'm gonna.
We don't know the line, so I can't.
I'm just gonna skip. It's to the wench. But anyway, I think it might be Never-Ending Story now. Anyway, winch. You need a winch.
That one. I saw that one.
Chrissy saw a movie.
I did.
Everyone gets bingo now.
Right.
You get bingo. You get bingo.
It was like recent too. I don't know why. It's a terrible movie.
Because it was on Stranger Things at the end of that.
You're right.
That's right.
And you didn't get any of the references. I'm like, all right, we didn't actually watch the whole movie. We just watched like trailers and bits, like the important parts. You get the story. Like the horse dies, everyone's sad.
When I was a ninth grader and I had flowing locks, everyone said I looked like Atreyu. This is a kid who rode the thing. Never mind.
The horse.
Yeah. You need a winch. You know why you need a winch? Because your car's a piece of crap. Done. Okay. Get a winch. Harbor Freight.
Even if it's not a piece of crap, it's going to get hit by a piece of crap.
That's right. You got to have a winch because you're going to have to put that piece of crap in the trailer when it doesn't run. And then you're going to be at home and you're going to be telling your wife, like, look, push the car and then jump in and hit the e-brake when I get halfway up, and she's going to say, no, you're an idiot. And she's right. So go to Harbor Freight. You can get, look, this is not to pull your mud dozer out of the mud. You don't need a real heavy one. You don't need a one that's going to work 1,000 times and pull 80,000 pounds. Just buy yourself a decent sized winch, wire that puppy up, receiver hitch, just like Chris said. If you want to put it in a receiver hitch, then weld a receiver hitch in the nose of your trailer, even better, because then you could put it on your truck or put it on the trailer or whatever.
It's also great for if you have a car that's very difficult to get out of in the trailer, like the NSX. But if I didn't have the target roof on it, like off of it, I couldn't get out. Like no chance. Like, so if you have a car that's difficult to do that, it really helps, because then you just hook the winch on, winch the car into the trailer, and you're not in the car. Mental.
The janky Half Magic trailer has a winch.
Not an electric one?
No, yes, I added one for exactly all of the reasons Jeff said.
Oh,
Great.
That's how that 53 Plymouth got put on it. That's how, when I had to get rid of everything after ratcheting with the come along, ratcheting
come along. I've used that many times.
Plymouth Champ up the I'm like, no, we're going to fix this. And like, yeah, it doesn't have to be this massive pull you out of the mud bog winch. You can get a cheap winch at any Walmart or big box store, and it wires directly to a car battery.
Yeah, I got mine at $289, and I haven't put it in yet. It's still in the box, but someday I'll get to it.
This one, it came with a mount that was designed to be added to your receiver hitch, and I just took that mount and welded it to the Half Magic trailer, and I can slide the winch on there, use a remote control, and on and off.
There it is. Chris, you have one more thing?
I do.
Or
no.
Blue, mental. That's you. Sorry.
You've put all this work into your trailer. You've got the track. You've got the perfect bench. You've got the bed, the fold-down bench, your scooty rack, your heating, and your air conditioning. Look on the Lemons forums. Look on all of your Facebook, HPDE, Track Rats group. Trailers are stolen all the time. Even if you've got the block on the receiver hitch, you've got the wheel clamp. Because if they want your trailer, they're going to watch and they're going to wait till you're gone. Or if you keep it offsite storage, they've just got plenty of time to work on these things. The infamous story of the thin blue swine, when he's a cop, and they had to drive their race car to Barber and then drive it home in freezing cold rain because someone stole their trailer a week before. Invest in a GPS tracking unit. Now, we've got a link to one in the show notes. It's a bit pricey. It's about just under $300, but it comes with a 5-year battery and 5 years of monitoring service. All of that's included. And you can mount it someplace where the thieves won't see it, and then just go get your trailer back, or show up with law enforcement and go, hi, that thing belongs to me, and I would very much like you to beat yourself with this stick while I take it back. And you can get cheaper ones for $50. Just put a GPS on your trailer and hide it.
Brilliant. I'm marking this page. And does anyone have anything else to add to this? I think we've covered this really well.
Not to this. I do have something before Chris goes to Hella Suite.
I think we should do part 2, and I think part 2 should be trailer maintenance.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it begins and ends with wheel bearings. And then when you're done with the wheel bearings, do the wheel bearings.
I bring it to the local garage where the old guy knows how to do drum brakes and wheel bearings. And I pay him the $50 it is to do it.
This is like your
get it back.
Checkbook works pretty well.
All right, so maybe that's not a future thing. But right now, after the main topic, we have the session that everyone loves, but it's taking the week off. Instead, we have On the Spot from Chris.
Yeah, this is a quick, simple thing. It's right on topic. What's the next modification you're going to make to your trailer? Especially after we talked today. Mental, you seem like you've got, or Chrissy's hand up was first. Chrissy's hand up first. Chrissy, what is the next mod we're going to do to our trailer?
Put a car in it.
That's not a modification.
It is, because right now it doesn't have a car in it.
It has very assorted boat parts.
Okay,
True.
come back to me.
Mental.
Right. So all of that half-inch diamond plate steel on the back of the trailer is getting cut off, recycled, and being replaced with quarter-inch diamond plate aluminum, which I think will now take it from 8 gajillion pounds down to probably 5.5 gajillion pounds.
That trailer, it's more the weight on the tongue that's the problem. Like that whole the box and the stuff it's made out of. That's where the real weight is.
And I've
molybdenum.
actually, yeah, I've done the research on that, and the biggest weight loss of that trailer, the box is actually very thin metal, and then the floor of the box is mostly rusted away. So that's not where there's a whole lot
Helpful.
of weight. So yeah, the biggest source of weight that I can actively engage on that trailer is the diamond plate, and it's overkill, and I can do it all with aluminum.
Cool.
I'm going to bring
Jeff.
up one we didn't talk about.
Okay.
Electric tongue jack.
Oh, that's a good one.
Do you know what I hate doing?
Well, because your tongue jack doesn't even work, and so you have to use your floor jack.
No, it works. It's just a pain in the butt, so I use the floor jack.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because yes, the janky half magic trailer, it is I've counted it. It's 53 turns to even with the 4x4 wood block. What else am I going to do? I'm not going anywhere for a while.
Oh, that's funny.
The
turns to get it off of the RV hitch, the load leveling RV hitch.
one of the problems with mine is it's not tall enough. So if I don't have about 6 inches of block under it, it will not get onto the ball of the Titan. So that is why I use the Harbor Freight 2.5 ton racing floor jack. Who's racing their floor jack? Doesn't go that fast, but whatever.
Mine does. I got of course I got a German one I bought from Chris a couple of years ago, so it's really quick.
Chris, what's the next one on yours?
Yeah, what's yours?
I'm going to install the E-Track I've got because it's all sitting there ready to be installed.
I
and I
think
need to
that's
install
not even
it.
fair. What's next?
All right, after that is workbench. I need to get some aluminum
Yeah.
from Vazio's, and I'm going to make
Yeah.
a workbench. And the front wall of the trailer, one half is the rolling box that I've got. That's about 42 inches. That has all the tools and rolls out with all the tools into the paddock. And the other half of the front, now that it doesn't have a stack of tires in it constantly, is going to be a built-in workbench.
So I went for a workbench that went over my toolbox. And your toolbox is low enough.
But our toolbox is a workbench.
It is.
It's
But that's what I'm
helpful to
saying. You
have
can,
as
like-
a separate space. Yeah, but
no, we're going to
then-
keep it the same. No, because I want the front to be both. Like I want to have, if you know, like roll the toolbox in, that's the workbench, and I want to work back next to it about the same height.
Oh, so they're like one parallel.
Yeah.
That's a good plan. I
Yes.
like
If
that.
it's in there, or if the
Yeah.
toolbox is out of the trailer, I still have a workbench
You
that
still have a
works with
workbench,
some
yeah.
storage under it, and it's got power right there. And I'm going to put my extra Makita battery charger permanently mounted in the trailer, so I always have it.
Good move.
Yep.
Chrissy,
How about a fan? Well, AC unit's going to go in it,
I
right?
neglected to wire for a fan.
Well,
That's another great idea is when
Oh.
you're running all your wires, even if you're not going to run anything out of the middle that you're thinking of, run the wire to the center where the hole is so you
'cause
can
if
put a powered
sometimes you
fan
don't
in.
need the whole AC unit.
Yeah.
The
Sometimes
little
it gets hot
RV
enough.
bubble
Yeah.
electric fan. That's what you're talking about, Chrissy?
Yeah.
I'm just talking about a fan.
I
don't
didn't
care
run
where.
wires for that. Damn.
don't-
But that's the best spot for it because it can blow the air out
Right.
of the roof and pull it in the door or vice versa.
I guess I should have thought of that and told
Yeah,
you.
you
guys
should have.
earlier.
Where were you
Yeah.
before?
I was in the
Yeah.
freaking trailer with you.
She
Yep.
was sanding. She was sanding
I
at the
wasn't
time.
standing. I was holding the other side of the ceiling up.
Mhm.
It's good thing we're tall.
Yep.
Are we done with this? Do we have a topic for next week?
No.
No,
We'll
we
find
do not
something.
have a topic for next week.
Before you kick into the thing though,
Okay.
our former guest Patrick Wilmot, he had his dog. You know, we talk about his dog Nacho. He's got a little. Nacho had surgery. Nacho had to have 10 teeth taken out, but Nacho is all fine now. So if you're interested, get on Patrick Wilmot Racing Instagram and say hi to Nacho. He had a couple of days where he's a little irritable, but luckily he kept his pointy teeth, so he can still be a grumpy old man and bite everybody. And Nacho is probably the most famous Chihuahua in the racing circle. So
And Nacho's drinking through a straw right now or eating through a straw. Okay.
Keep talking like that, and you're all going to be eating through a straw. I don't know. Why is that a
and
threat?
The jersey comes out.
I'm
It's
not
taken
sure
us
why that's
3
a threat.
years, but we
Who
got the
doesn't like a
jersey
straw?
out.
I don't get it.
The
Thank
environment,
you.
man.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Visco Girls. Thank you for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you. We hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hate us, give us 5 stars. Tell us why. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop a comment on our Facebook page or Everyone Racers or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram or Twitter at everyone.racers. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the trailer dome up. And
Unless you don't have an enclosed trailer, then just keep the heavy part down.
Sure.